Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today I will be looking at a ZvP between a blue Zerg named Fient that is spawned in the top right corner of Everdream LE, and in the bottom left corner there is a red protoss called Main. Now this game is played around 4.7 MMR on the EU ladder, so that means they are both master level players. And this Zerg is actually from the same clan, and I have been provided this replay from him, which is pretty cool. Now, as we can see, nothing unusual is happening. There's a standard opener from the Protoss and a standard opener from the Zerg. And even the Overlord is right above the hatchery, which means that the Zerg can see the cannon rush if it is going to happen. But as we can see, it's not going to happen because the Protoss already open up with a gateway. And as well as the standard follows, the Zerg will go extractor and a spawning pool on the 18 and 17 pool. Now, a fun little trick that you can do as a Protoss is you can actually block the spawning pool by a couple of seconds like this Protoss did. And it was quite funny and annoying, but it doesn't actually really matter except maybe for some mental points against the Zerg. As you can see on the Protoss side, the Nexus is the follow-up as well as the Cyber Core. And I guess so. Yeah, everything is pretty standard so far. The probe is even patrolling right at the entrance of the Zerg's natural, which means that the Protoss will see if the Zerglings are coming, or maybe perhaps roaches will come. But yeah, nothing of the two, except there will be a drone that went a little bit unscouted by the Protoss. And now the third is planted by the Zerg as well. And again, following the standard order, going for the metabolic boost, building 2 queens, one for the inject, one for the tumor. The Zerg sees the adept, and now this is a little cool trick. You can actually hide the zerglings here as a Zerg and grab the adept. This is really cool. Look at this. Even though it's not fully effective, especially because the main right here is looking at the adept and actually macroing, but the adept could be caught off guard, and then the zerglings will be able to surround the adept and kill it for almost free. Now, this is just the usual standard scouting between the Protoss and the Zerg. The Protoss will follow this up by an Oracle, and it is rallied to kill the Overlord, but he doesn't actually have a Stalker to kill it with. Now, we see from the Protoss that there will be a pretty early third base. Usually the standard is a little bit earlier than 5 minutes, but this Protoss decides to do it on 3:55. We can see some harassment, some testing from the Zerg trying to get into the wall, but the Oracle actually comes back, which is actually really good for the Zerg because it saves a lot of time. It also means that the Zerg can make spores in peace without harassment from the Oracle, and even make the spores later, which means that the Zerg will have more minerals to work with and more drones to work with. Now, this will be a little bit annoying for the Zerg. There will be just a random adept push, followed up with Oracle, so adepts will be harassing from one side while the oracles will be harassing from the other side. Now, as we can see, This was actually a pretty good surround by the Zerg. There's even a queen working on it. The oracles coming here to help. And they actually get all the zerglings, get a queen, get several drones too. There's actually no spore in the natural. The zerglings are being produced. They are trying to surround the adept. They actually succeed and get 2 adepts. And there's actually no spore in the third as well. So Oracle is actually getting quite a lot of work done. There's 13 drones that fell. These sentries actually being the heroes and killing the overlord, trying to morph into an overseer, but it was a little bit too late. And as you can see, a counterattack is happening. There's already links into the main, and there's more links flooding. One sentry falls, several zealots are being warped, and they fell too. Actually, there's even an attack on the third too. There's attack on the second as well. They're all over the place. The protoss actually didn't rally the probes properly yet, so he's still dealing with the zerglings that are all over the place. And this is pretty much dealt with. There's a pylon in the wall, and yeah. There's actually not enough energy on the oracles, which is really funny. He's even recalling the sentries and the adepts. It's really dangerous. And also quite unusual because the protoss could easily done more chrono boost. This is actually more damage than it should have been. Anyway, there's also an immortal, so rubber facility, as well as charge and weapons for ground on the protoss side, which means that there might be a time where the protoss will have better upgrades than the Zerg, and perhaps the protoss will be able to benefit from that timing. Anyway, on the Zerg side of the map, we see him research +1 range weapon, as well as Glider Constitution already researched, so this means that these roaches are going to be fast. There's a decent creep spread. There's 2 queens working on that creep spread. Jericho sees the roaches, which is really good for them, for the protoss. Protoss even tagging the roaches, but there is enough to defend off the roaches, with 1 immortal being so crucial. But there's more coming in. There's more roaches, there's more zerglings, and even a 4th coming, as well as the ravagers popping. So this is going to be a pretty strong timing attack. And as you can see, these are really good force field splitting of the army of Zerg, but not without cost. So most of the army falls except this 1 hero immortal. There's more stalkers warping in. There's oracles being so good, killing most of the army of the Zerg. Like, look at this. There's 14 kills here, 17 on this oracle. But this will eventually be cleaned up. There's enough warpins, enough zealots and stalkers to deal with the incoming zerglings and roaches. But yet again, he might be attacking, maybe not. But we see the transition into the Hydralisk. We can see the muscular augments and what is it, group spine. So yeah, this will be dealt with by the protoss. Some nice micro on the Zerg side, killing the zealots relatively easily. And as the follow-up for the protoss, we see the Templar Archives, we see Archons and High Templars, and as well as Storm upgrade being researched. Now the protoss really is in need of the 4th. There's a lot of workers oversaturated on the main base. Meanwhile, the Zerg is actually quite happily mining on 4 bases. Yet we still see no forts on the protoss side. The Zerg is building more roaches, more hydras, and yeah, spreading quick. While the oracles are just flying about, evaluating as much as possible. The protoss does lose one oracle here, but oracles really paid out this game. Like 18 and 14 kills. That is a lot of kills in the oracle. Anyway, we see the Zerg clearing the rocks, which is absolutely great. It means that there will be more space for the Zerg to commit to the attack. Finally, we see a Nexus about halfway done, right when the Ritual has been Geyser. And now we see another attack by the Zerg, but he does see a lot of Archons and a couple of Immortals. That's going to be enough to... Well, now we even see Storm. Yeah, this is not going to work out for the Zerg just yet. He needs to pull back or split, but he's not really doing that. So he's taking a lot of damage. But eventually the Protoss does overcome. Although there is no... oh, there's the War Prism. Now we even see Zealots, so this will need to be a good attack. Although there's already another army from the Zerg. So I'm not really sure about this Protoss. Like, he already used a lot of Storm. He does have more. Maybe one more? I don't think that's gonna be enough. The Zerg can micro these roaches against Zealots, and the roaches will eventually win. As long as the Zerg doesn't eat all the storms. The Protoss actually warps in the Archons, I'm not sure about that. Even the positioning of the War Prism actually being sniped even by the Hydralisks. And yeah, this attack eventually falls. Even a feedback on the Queen, that's a nice little addition. And yeah, this was cleared up by the Zerg. It was really close actually, but eventually the Zerg wins. And back home, there's still nothing. These 6 High Templars, yeah, they're not gonna hold this army. The Protoss need more war pins. And yeah, since there's no defense on the Protoss side, this fort will fall. And we can see the massive disparity in the army of between the army of the Zerg and the Protoss. Protoss finally makes a couple of Archons, but that's not going to be enough, especially now that there's Lurkers. I mean, yeah, he does get the revelation of the Lurker, but the Protoss can't even go through the Roaches and Hydras. So yeah, that should be it. Eventually the Zerg overpowered the Protoss. Anyway guys, thank you for watching yet again, and I hope you enjoyed this one as well as the previous ones, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.